The night of the fight, the last time I seen you guys, fuck me.
Was it at that nightclub?
Yeah, we went to the after party.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, everyone, you were in a good mood. You had your belt. Everything was great.
Yeah.
I mean, what did it feel like when you actually got home and you realized, fuck, I drew? Like, what was that actually like?
In a way, it was almost as depressing as the defeat would have been like, I feel like. Because 6 months of hard work and 3 months of boxing training was for nothing. Or so it felt. But I found out that the foundation that we had built was such a strong foundation that contributed to my boxing ability now. And it was so necessary. And I think from a macro perspective, me not losing was a big win because that whole year was losses. Everything that I did was an L, a fat L that I took to the chin. And I wasn't used to failing repetitively that grand ever. And so the draw to me was a win because it didn't give everyone the opportunity that they really wanted, which was to cancel Logan Paul for forever, by the way. Because if I had lost, what am I, Joe Weller now?
In that first 2 rounds, I'm ringside. I'm used to, because JJ with Joe, he was in his head. Joe was noticeably like shook going into the ring. With you, the confidence you had for the first fight, I was like, wow. And when you were laughing at him and jabbing his like head off, I was like, holy shit.
Can you say something for us really quick? I've been dying to hear this again since the last fight. Is there any way you could say the following sentence? Oh, he's unloading on JJ. Could you just say it one time?
He's unloading on JJ.
We play that clip all the time. But
no, the thing is, right, I remember talking to Jake in the after party, and Jake went, you know the maddest thing? He only learned how to box properly 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, shit.
I watch every single sparring, and I would like sit there and like try to tell Logan what to do, and I feel like Logan's the type of person where it's either like 100% like he's getting it or like not. And like 2 weeks before the fight, I was like, this is the first sparring session where like I saw him like move like a boxer. And then like 10 days later was our last sparring session, and then all of a sudden they were fighting. So it's like now this year is like completely different.
That's why, I mean, I think you could probably notice it. I just am walking around with a lot more confidence. Like my chest is puffed out a little more, my chin's a little higher.
Well, you look fucking huge. Like when I seen you today, I was like, Jesus, this kid looks massive.
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to play the tough guy role here like I do sometimes with JJ. Like when I'm like, yo, I'm gonna knock you out in round 2. It's just like there is so much confidence that comes with actual skill. And I had a year and a half to actually learn how to box. Whose fucking idea was it to give me this much time to become an athlete?
Do you know when you seen JJ going on tour, were you training that whole time?
The whole time.
I go, JJ, he announced his tour. I go, yo, time to fucking eat. This is it. Man's gonna be eating fast food. He's gonna be unhealthy. He's gonna be on tour, not sleeping, maybe drinking, smoking, and I'm gonna be waking up at 8 a.m. training every single day because November 9th now is the only day in my life that matters. That's it.
One of the things you said to me on that night, like, because I was just getting to know you as a guy. Like, we've kept in touch quite a bit since then. But you know when someone says something, you're like, he's like my kind of guy. You were like, hey Jordy, this was like 4 a.m. Goes, man, I'd love to stay and talk to you, but I haven't fucked this girl in 2 months. And he walks off with Chloe fucking Bennett, and I was like, you know what it is? If you tell me you don't want to talk to me because you want to go and fuck a girl, you are my kind of guy. I like that.
She was my girlfriend, and we heard this rumor that if you don't have sex 30 days before your fight, it like builds up your testosterone or something, and it makes you angrier. My coach says sex is a misdemeanor. The more you misdemeanor you get. And I don't know.
And
like,
you're still not supposed to be having sex right now. You're not supposed to at all.
Well, the thing about that is definitely fuck that because nah, bro.
Briggs is gonna listen to this. And you're gonna be in big fucking trouble.
Here's the deal. Here, Briggs, listen, please. Hear me out.
He's an intimidating guy.
Well, you know, when Briggs is every morning going, yo, you nut last night, champ. I'm like, no. What?
I did.
And he's like, you can't be nutting. You build your batch. I'm like, build your batch? What? King batch?
I'll go into his room.
No, wait, listen. the theory is I'm not doing anything that I did last fight to prepare for this fight. You know why? Because last fight I didn't win. So why would I repeat any of the shit I did?
Can we ask you about Shannon then? Because like
people are split on him.
People are split, and I've only ever seen him say a handful of sentences, and I mean this like in the most respectful way.
And anyone in specific that stands out?
Not to me.
Any 3
It
words.
doesn't spring to mind, does it, Lawrence?
Maybe to other people. I think he comes across badly in public, but in private, he seems like a different kind of character.
So his podcast with Joe Rogan, he came across amazingly. But then on stage, naturally it's hard to come across well on stage, but he just comes across as a guy who just says the same thing.
Who gives a fuck how he comes across? Here's why I ask. 36, I think 36, 35, 36,
33.
first round knockouts.
It's 33.
Most knockouts for heavyweight.
So at the end of the day, like, he doesn't say a lot of words. Who cares?
So,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm constructing that question basically into what does he do then that people don't see?
Listen, bro. Look at me. In many ways, am I not the same way? Mm-hmm. In many ways, when I'm vlogging or on stage, I act and look sometimes like a fucking moron. And bro, go on Fox Business and tell them I have pink eye on Fox Business. Did you see that by chance?
Yes.
But that was one of the funniest things.
Well, because you know I'm fucking around, bro. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Yo, this kid's an idiot. Is he on cocaine?" I'm just fucking around. Yeah. But on a podcast, I can speak at length about things. Shannon is smart as fuck, and I'm not saying that because he's my coach. I'm saying that because the amount of time that I've spent with him, where I get to like understand how his brain works, it's fascinating. And time again, I go, this is why he's the world champ.
Right.
He just understands like everything. It just that, in public, let's go champ is his thing. And I'm sure he doesn't have a forum to exhibit his intelligence.
Why do you think it doesn't come out in public when it's clearly so evident to a lot of people privately?
I would say this. Everyone has modes. I got my podcast mode. I got my personal mode. Right. I got the vlog mode.
He's got training mode.
I got my hype mode. I got me in training mode. Shannon has his like personal mode. He's got his I'm on stage hype mode, and that comes across as let's go champ, let's go. Like that's his hype mode. And even me, why I can again relate to that is because like let's take 2 examples right now. LA press conference, today's press conference. LA press conference, yo, you're a fucking pussy. Where's your brother? Just like kind of being a bully, hype, like angry. Today, bro, I'm just having fun, like kind of chilling out, like making some simple jokes. Like
it felt like you prepared with a mode. That's what Lawrence said before. That he was like, it felt like you constructed this whole thing where you were like, I know what's going to come and I'm ready for it this time.
Jordy, right now, looking at these 2 guys. And you're friends with both of them, right?
Absolutely.
I mean,
don't even ask this, bro.
Is there not a clear thought in your mind as to how this fight's gonna go down? I mean, come on, dude.
Don't ask
but
him
I
that,
think that the first fight is an indicator in itself especially because you're getting trained by Shannon, like the power, and also I think you've got the physical advantages over this guy. You're longer reach, clearly a stronger man, clearly. And the early rounds, if you're going to put money on it, you put the early rounds on Logan. But to be fair to JJ, and I say this, JJ has this like freaky stamina. He's got weird stamina. The guy, he can run and run and run. It's just weird, especially for his weight. So later rounds, most people are going to say that they think it would go the same way as the first fight. That being said, you've been training a lot longer now. We could be seeing a totally different Logan Paul and a totally different JJ. So I'm just keeping an open mind. Do you know what I mean? In that regard.
Yep, I have respect.
Yeah. It's scary that, I mean, when we saw you downstairs and
what was that like when I seen Logan? When we went back in the dressing room? What was that like when I went back in the dressing room?
Brian went to the dressing room and he just sat down and went, fuck me, he's huge. And I was like, wow.
He's like me, but without the fat.
I don't know why, but last time, I know it's weird to say, you didn't seem as tall. You didn't seem as big. And then this time when you 2 were chatting, I was like, wow, you're as wide as Brian, and you're almost as tall as Brian. And I guess there's a different presence. I don't know if you guys have noticed it, because it's been like a gradual thing, but
it's mostly in his confidence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, like Jake said last time before the fight, he had just finished up learning how to fucking box 2 weeks earlier. You know what I'm saying? Or like a month earlier. Right now, he's been boxing in fight mode for a year.
After I beat JJ, I don't want people to be angry at me. Like I want to take the audience that's watching JJ fight and supporting JJ with me when I do my next fight, potentially in the UFC.
Like I want. Sure.
Well, no, but to his point,
Sure, bro.
No, I'm serious, bro. Like,
Would
Yeah,
you fight
for
in the
sure.
UFC? Yeah. No, because I hear this a lot, and I think to myself, all right, his stand-up's good, he can wrestle, and I've been watching the UFC since day one, and they've given fights to CM Punk, who, like, you know, had no business being anywhere near a cage. So I believe that you could do it, but it's whether or not, what is in it for you? Because they're not going to pay the money that's going to actually, like, mean anything to you.
I don't believe that. I bet I could get Dana to move Fat Check.
Really?
I think so. Yeah. I think, bro.
But what is it worth,
can you
though?
imagine? This is a scenario where if I were to ever secure a fight in the UFC, a stage that big and has that much brand recognition,
It builds your brand.
my prowess as an influencer,
Right.
I think I would have the potential and the power to rally the entire community that watches people online, not just Logan Paul fans. Like, if you notice, when creators do things that are great, internet-based people, they do things that are great. PewDiePie, for example, when he hits 100 million, everyone on YouTube supports PewDiePie.
Yeah.
Every creator, every person watching. And so I believe if I fought in the UFC, not only would I bring my fans, but everyone who just wants to support the kid whose platform was built by you.
No, it would be massive. There's no doubt about that. Just didn't. UFC are a bit, you know what I mean, whether or not they. And also, you need a dance partner. You need someone who's willing to get in there, who has a profile of their own, who has limited experience, who's actually a good match for you. That's going to be really difficult.
That's the tricky part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dancing with the Stars would be easier.
and also, like, I don't want that. I don't want that to happen. Like, I'm completely against him doing MMA.
You think he should go down the entertainment route now?
Here's why. As we sit here at this table right now, is there any part of you who feels like, and this is not a slight, it's just a question, like Logan Paul is going to be XX class champion of the world, or hear me out, or MMA champion of the world? Answer the question. He started training. He started training for boxing.
I actually don't know how strong this table
I
is.
think I've put this table to the test. We should be all right. I've done things on this table before worse than this, so we should be good.
I want to hear his answer.
Saying smashed on the table.
But let me. You know
right.
why?
What is it
'Cause
with
I'm
this
gonna
guy?
get to it.
Son?
Logan.
I told you this was going to
standing
be
on
a classic.
everything.
Logan Paul.
I'm already enjoying this.
I definitely can't get on this one.
Logan.
entertained.
Do you know what it is? I said
Logan.
Logan should be my opening line.
Exactly, yeah.
All right.
Oh,
I
shit.
did. Oh, God.
Okay.
All right, but
He's so
answer,
agile.
seriously.
I feel like he could do it in M&A. Now see him get up on the table in 2 seconds.
So let me, before you even answer, let me just say why I ask it. The reason I ask is in the past and through now, he has proven to the world that he is one of the best, if not the best creator in the world. Okay?
Didn't see the
You
Monaco
usually
video.
do that. Usually do that when I talk about myself.
Well, like,
Let me finish. Well, let me finish the fucking thought, champ.
No, I
All
love
right?
you, bro. I love
Let
you.
me finish the fucking thought.
I love you.
Quickly, listen. Why would he walk away from the potential to do that to go get his
know
brain
why, though?
destroyed
Good point.
You know
in a
why,
fucking
though?
ring?
Basically, he's
Because
gonna
in
get
some
concussed
men,
first.
there's this thing, isn't there?
Yeah.
In some men, there's this thing where I want to be great. It's not about the money. It's this ego thing that we're.
I don't have that.
Know what I mean?
No, I don't have that.
No, but I'm just saying, if you did, that would be why you'd walk away. So why would you do it then? What is it about the UFC? What are you getting out
Or
of it?
boxing more.
Do you know what my goal is? Have you heard me say it? Has anyone heard me say it?
It's to be the biggest entertainer in the world.
Facts.
All right.
What does that mean? To me, that means.
The
Ricky
Rock.
Jay's on the podcast.
The Rock.
Why is he great?
So the Rock. No, you're talking about. All right, his movies are terrible. We
Yeah.
all know that.
Why
But
is
the
he great,
point
though?
is,
Wrestling's amazing.
In terms of the biggest entertainer in the world, from an athletic standpoint, wrestling,
can smell
movies, he's done pretty much everything. And let's be honest,
Well,
if the UFC had been a thing when he was in his prime, he probably would have fucking done that as well.
He would have
You
got
just said it.
beaten.
So you're trying to be the one who does everything. I get that, and I rate
Everything.
Boxing and MMA
But-
are outliers. The Rock did wrestling. Okay, these are outliers.
But I'm just
because,
saying,
no,
he's the
because
biggest,
listen,
isn't
because
he?
when you look at
But I'm saying the biggest. So sure, let's use The Rock as an example. But like, and fucking roast me if you feel like it. But like, my goal is to be bigger than The Rock, and I mean that, bro. I'm 24 years old. Do you know how much time I have? So if I do a sick stint as a professional fighter that I can do because I work hard, athletically blessed, and willing to put in the mental energy to do that, and I can become the best creator on YouTube. Again, these are my goals. Like these are the things I want to do. Should I fail, God strike me down, but I'm going to do the best that I can to make all these things happen.
But there are certain things. Zac Efron, huge actor, right?
Yep.
Say he said, I want to be the biggest entertainer in the world, and he said, so I'm going to go into shark diving, or by the way, I'm going to go into battle. I'm going to go into the Marines. I'm going to go into the Marines because I want to be
and GoPro it.
And there are outliers to what you will do in another genre because they will fuck you in another. If you have no brain because your head gets pummeled in, we can't have the best podcast. You can't be an actor. You can't be a comedian, a singer, nothing. You will just be a fucking potato.
Is there a thing though?
Think about that.
What a podcast.
Is there a thing though that you, out of all of these things that you tried to do in the past, that you're more drawn to? One thing.
It's unfortunately combat sports.
Fighting, yeah.
Really?
It's unfortunately combat.
Which
Doug, in high school, I wanted to do MMA for a living, and then I was like, fuck, I'm like way too smart for this. Like, bro, I'm a smart kid, and I realized like I kind of like studying and putting my mind to work, and I could probably make more money and get more done and accomplish more if I use my mind instead of my fists. And that's what happened. And now somehow I got sucked back into this shit, and I'm like, fuck, I like it. I like getting hit.
And that's
a
different story.
People.
If he loves it, and because by the way, what the fuck does my opinion matter on it? He'll do
Well,
what he wants to do.
But
but still, if he told me, he's like, yo, this is what I love to do, and I want to be the best fighter in the world, then I'd be like, yo, then fucking do it. But like when it's like, yo, I want to be the most versatile entertainer in the world, you're talking about doing something that could fuck you in every other arena.
I get that.
Because you have no head left.
This is why he's my guy.
You had Brendan Schaub on your podcast. Shout out to Brendan Schaub.
Brendan Schaub's the fucking man, dude.
But he quit the UFC for that reason. He didn't want to have the concussions. He didn't want to be slow in his speech. He's a comedian. He does everything, bit like you.
He's got kids, a
daughter,
right?
Yeah. Are
Son.
you
Son,
not
sorry.
looking at that and being like, maybe I should learn from this guy and not put
I do, and I am learning from Brendan and every other fighter who I've seen.
I don't think there's harm in one fight.
Step down prematurely. Yeah,
No,
for sure.
no, of
There's no harm in one fight. Mike's talking
Is that
about
what it would be for you?
never
One
know.
fight to prove the point?
me?
Because once you
It is
do
a
that
little
one
bit
fight,
addictive,
if you
yeah.
smoke a guy and everyone's chanting your name and it's off then.
You're kind of right.
Logan Paul's off to the fucking races then, because the addiction, it's going to grow in the one for... It's all going to happen then, isn't it?
You want to hear some?
I know. I've played this scenario out in my head 100
And where
times.
does it end? Where does it end?
I'm gonna do my first UFC. I'm gonna beat JJ. I'm gonna do my first fight in the UFC. I'm gonna win. I'm gonna smoke this fucking dude, whoever it is. And then I'm gonna be like, yo, I think I'm good. That was fun. And then I'm gonna get a huge bag placed in front of me, and I'm gonna be like, fuck, bro, I could use another Rolex.
Another Rolex. At that point, like, you know what he was talking about the other day? Came up in conversation with the crew at the house
Vine Island.
about the potential of Logan Paul, Conor McGregor.
Well, McGregor's nowhere... I mean, this is just like 3 different weight classes away. I mean, you're a light heavyweight.
That's what he.
The only way you're going into battle with McGregor is
you're
if
not-
you create a whiskey, because there's no way he's going to.
No, but
Or if you
McGregor
shit- or
is
if you
tiny.
shit talk him at the bar.
You're a massive man.
Do you hear this?
McGregor is tiny compared to you. That's not even a word.
Well, that's the theory. That's why, like, I'm sure he'd probably kill me, but the reason it's maybe okay in any capacity is that his level of
I know what you're saying.
combat ability is so much higher.
This is
but,
never happening.
but I'm a
This is
bigger
never
kid.
happening.
Do you know?
Never happening.
Do you know what though?
Honestly,
Yeah,
this guy's got 1 or 2 fights left, and he is done. Like, he's getting out because he sees what MMA is like.
Oh yeah.
He's going to resurrect Maverick. So, who have you actually fought recently that you're scared of? Because
In sparring and
a
that.
huge part of it to me seems like you're not actually you've not actually. I'm not saying you're not scared of JJ, but you've not had an opponent recently who's maybe scared you away from fighting or made you consider it. Who have you fought that you're actually like, fuck?
Bro, do I look like a bitch to you?
No, but you can still be scared. You're not a bitch.
There
if
must be
you're scared.
people who get the better of you on a sparring. Must be. I know for a fact that Shannon Briggs wouldn't be doing his job unless he was putting you in with people who are fucking really roughing you up at times. So I think the point stands is, are you feeling like you're getting pushed to the limit right now?
I don't know if pushing yourself to the limit is healthy.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you're at your limit, you break.
Okay.
You know,
So-
I don't want to overtrain or for no reason spar some professional boxer who, by the way, would fucking kill me
Yeah.
and hurt me when we don't know if this is the path I'm going to take for the rest of my life.
Why MMA?
So I get your question, but as far as like being scared goes, I mean this. I'm not trying to fucking flaunt my dick size. Maybe it's because like the haters will say it's because like I'm too dumb, but like there is a piece of my brain missing that recognizes and clocks fear. It's next to nothing, dude.
And is that why it's MMA for you? Because you know you can wrestle.
This is half a fight.
Yeah.
When I thought I could challenge JJ to do MMA, when he called me out for boxing, I didn't really have any leverage because he had just won. But yeah, I would love to get in the octagon with this kid, dude. I love wrestling. I love jiu-jitsu and submissions, and I can't do any of that.
All right, so when we last seen you were, and I mean this, I was impressed with your jab, but you could tell there wasn't that much more to you as a fighter. Like, you had a great jab, but and you could judge him coming in, but there wasn't that much more because Jake said to me, you'd only just kind of clocked on to what boxing was. What is your game now in terms of, without revealing everything, obviously? Do you feel like you're learning a lot more and you've gone through that?
Yeah, man, it's not even comparable. Like it's night and day. Quite literally, like the reason we brought Shannon Briggs in is because, I mean, you said it. Like, I'm a big guy. I have a lot of muscle.
Yeah.
There's no reason I shouldn't be knocking the people out in the first or second round.